What do you think, just off the top of your head, is the most impactful project that you've been able to work on?
The one for me that was most impactful, I think, was our work with TikTok. TikTok was trying to introduce basically a monetization policy to creators in Kenya.
Do you think it's important for designers to jump on the AI trend, jump on the new emerging technologies trend, or get left behind and stick to what you already know and what you know is good?
Jerry is in some deep problem. Yeah. If he or she does not want to adopt these new technologies, basically, you
It's tough. It's not looking good.
Iggy, unaonaje?
To the power that content creators have, because you influence. Bobby atakuja aseme hii Coca-Cola hapa. Mimi kesho naenda kubuy Coca-Cola.
Look, I'm introducing this, but you need that
Yes,
to use this.
I love it.
And that's what they do.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lead Series, your home for everything livelihood, education, advocacy, and development. I'm your host today, Grace, and I'm joined by a wonderful guest here. But before we even dive into that, thank you for starting this wonderful year with us. We have so much in store for you. I cannot be able to even give a snippet to it, but there's so much that we want to share with you guys, new programs and so forth and so forth. We're joined here by Cchora Studios. This is one of the fastest growing design agencies here in the country, have been accredited in different design awards that have been held here in the country, and they have a portfolio of 150 projects. Could you imagine that? These are people and an agency that has been around for more than 6 years. They have been able to launch and spearhead, creatives and digital design into very many different heights. And I think they're typically a hub for, creative education and offering resources like, design tutorials, being able to give you the premium end as much as you can, the basic insights into designing, into digital design, into what it takes then to be able to step into such spaces. Their portfolio then includes, huge projects such as TikTok or Kota Pay, very many as well that we're going to discuss here, very, very in depth. But we felt that it's a wonderful moment for us as we step into this new year. We believe that the Kenyan youth and just the youth in global are taking that wonderful shift into, the digital creative space, digital design. And it's important for us to be able to share solutions and share our innovative design journeys so that we can be able to create a community and be able to push this into different heights. Without any further ado, I'd like us to meet our guest here today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Moses Sanya. I'm one of the co-founders of Cchora Studio, and I'm very privileged and glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Moses. Thank you for making the time to be here today. It's unfortunate the co-founder couldn't be here, but she is still with us in heart. Now, you have been in this space for years now. That's an understatement. It's been more than 6, I'd choose to assume, not just with Cchora Studio alone. So could you share with us the journey? How did Cchora come into play? How did you find, how did the idea come into your mind? And how did the name Design Misfits? Because, somebody would look at Misfits and think, oh, this is a bit on the other side of life. So share that with us.
So for us, like every other story, every other creation, there's always a journey that comes to about. So I myself have a background in design. I've always studied design from high school level.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Up to the university level. So when I was growing up, actually, I started out as a graffiti artist. So we used to go to there was an event back then called BIFA. It was organized by the British Council. So there we used to go do graffiti. Guys will sell the t-shirts, the merchandise. And through there, I was really introduced towards to the creative space. I met a lot of creatives doing different types of art at that time, be it graffiti, be it painting. And from there, that sparked my interest a lot. So I was really caught up with graffiti. And when I now transitioned towards going to KU, I went to Kenyatta University to pursue my degree in design, is when I was introduced to the digital side of design. Basically, I was on the traditional side. Now, my introduction towards the digital side is where the growth happened. And when we were going to finish up towards school, is when I was able to actually interact with other people outside, especially customers, CEOs, companies, and what they require from students and the skills they require from design. So from there, looking at that gap is where we were able to see how we can come up with a design agency that will be able to supply the needs of the consumers, be it the regular consumer or companies or any institution that requires any design needs. So that's how basically a short brief of how we were able to basically Cchora being given birth.
And do you think it was necessary for you to make that shift from the traditional form, I'd say, of art or to the digital? What inspired that? Do you think that shift was necessary? Do you think it would have been different if you never made that shift?
The shift is necessary. You evolve or die. So basically, we had to move towards the digital side because basically what happened is that you look at the efficiency of technology, the efficiency of the innovation that's going through. So what it does, you really don't want to be redundant in this the work field, be it in the creative side or any other field that you are in. So adapting some of these technologies to improve our design, to improve our creative process was quite vital, because by the time we were leaving school, what was required in the professional field and the skills that we had gained while we were leaving school, the gap was too big.
Oh, the mismatch was...
The gap was too big. You know, we were so focused on traditional side.
Okay.
And coming outside of school, the gap is just too wide. And you don't want to be jobless and you have the skills to do it. So basically, I don't want to say necessity, but necessity. The necessity to evolve, yes.
And speaking on the creative process, if I could just ping from there, what does your creative process look like? Do you carry a philosophy before, for example, if you're picking up a project, is there a philosophy, is there a process around it, and how does it, at the end of the day, reflect in your project?
So basically how we work, our design philosophy per se, we just don't take any project. Because when we work with our clients, we are really involved in what they do. We look at it from the consumer side. So if a client, let's say, is launching a product, the first question we ask the client is, sell the product to me. Why should I use the product? So we are really trying to get into the mind of the client, seeing where they want to go and how they want to position themselves in the market.
Okay.
With that information is now where we go do our research before we take any project. We see what sector are they in? How is the sector doing? What's the market of they doing? Who are their competitors? How are they maneuvering through the market? And how successful or not successful have they been? So with that kind of basic information, we are able to gauge how we'll approach the project, the direction we need to go. So the philosophy changes per project, but the most important thing is being able to adapt to the client's needs and make sure that we are able to outperform what they want. So we are very selective with different philosophies in accordance to the project.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I like the involvement that you have, the engagement, the fact that they have to sell it to you first.
Yes.
And if you're not sold, then...
if you're not sold, you end up designing things that you don't put your heart into the project. And sometimes we really take our clients' work personally.
Okay.
So sometimes when even something fails on their side, we tend to follow up a lot. How are you doing? We had you launched. We had maybe you did an IPO. We had this and this. Could you bring us in? So our engagement doesn't just end once we deliver the project.
The work. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we are really following up on what things are going through, because we feel part of the success that they have, because we'll also take that story of theirs and make it our own on our side, because in the end of the day, it's the impact. So design has to equal to the impact. So we want the impact of the clients, which will also come back to the impact of how we design, basically.
And really just to pick on the impact, because you have a large portfolio, over 150 projects that we've been able to see so far. Some maybe might even still be in the kitchen as we speak. And over 150 projects, over 2 million impressions on Pinterest, we see, at least personally, I'm able to interact with the team's content, whether it's Instagram. You've gone viral a number of times with the content from the entire team. And really, how does that level, how does that reach, for example, affect how you work as a team? Do you have to, diversify projects, give some here, leave some there, so forth? What are type of the challenges per se that you'd face once you're, really breaking the banks in regards to impact?
So first, basically, as a team, every member in our team is very unique in what they do. So there are some projects that come about. We know that has to be led by a specific member of the team because they understand it better. They're able to produce it better. But now, as we work, we want to see how can we use the different skills we have in our team to ensure that we have the most effective handover or whatever we are presenting to the client. So that plays a very big role in how we work because we really trust our team as it is. It's carefully selected because what we want to do is we are not really looking at in terms of the educational background, which is good because some of these things people tend to learn on the go. And at Cchora Studio, we are really trying to ensure that the employees we have are cultured into what we want to do. So whatever, even the projects that went viral, so for example, projects that have had the most impact, some of these projects were just ideas by some of our teammates. And we like to culture that culture basically and encourage it in Cchora Studio. So we normally even have a design board in which individuals can come and put some ideas. You can see, if you see this idea is quite good, you can take some time, explore the idea, and we're like, oh, okay, this can really work. Let's put all our effort here. And then we have obviously the team that knows how to go outside, market it at a proper manner. And I think that has really worked for us. At first, maybe not, because we were a little bit confused at first because finding your identity, even as a design agency, is quite hard. What we realize is that a lot of agencies basically, they don't know how to define themselves. So if I come as a client and I approach you and I say, I want things like this. So it's quite easy for us creatives to go along. So you will find yourself being pushed here, and there and there. But if you have a culture within your team, you know how you work. You know how you interact with clients. You can correct some things. You can suggest things to clients, individuals, how you work better. And sometimes the very, very astute clients really appreciate it. Some people might not at first, but in the end of the day, once you present something that really has an important impact on their work, they're able to kind of appreciate your way of work. So it's not the ordinary way, but for us, the ordinary hasn't worked for us. So we decided to... Everybody thinks outside the box. So basically, we just went back to the box.
The box is left empty, guys.
The box is not. Yes, that's what has really helped us to. And if things go viral, it's just a bonus for us. The goal is never to go viral. But what makes us really feel good is that the fact that we've pushed out work that really resonates with Kenyans, really resonates with individuals in that sector. And that really, we kind of really love that at some point. And that's why, that's why we've been able to move like that. Basically, all glory goes to our team.
And amen to the Lord for that. And considering this large portfolio that you have and the team, I'd be wrong or right to presume, or rather just ask, how do you keep the creativity charged at 100%? I'm looking at 150 projects at some point. Does the creativity run out? Do you guys find yourselves in creative blocks? And if so, how do you surpass creative blocks?
First things first, the creativity runs out every single project. That's just that. It runs out at every single project that you do. Because Creativity, a lot depends, especially on how somebody is, what they're feeling, their mental state, the clarity they have in their mind in terms of being able to see things in very different aspects. So it's not every day you're going to go into the office and you're 100% locked in. You see, and maybe you might be the lead of the project. And now we are just looking at you, and that day, maybe you are hungry or something. You missed a snack here and there. So you're not basically at your best. So the question is, what we ask ourselves is, how do we put an environment in which, even though you come and maybe today is not your best day, how do we spark you? How do we spark you? So that at least you're able to say, okay, you know what? I wasn't feeling well, but now I feel like I'm in the zone. So basically, how do we get you in the zone? How do we get you in the zone? And that plays a lot now in terms of the culture that we have in our company,
in the team,
even the space around our office. We've set it up in a way in which we don't want it to be the traditional kind of office, 9 to 5. You feel like you're just blocked in. In the end of the day, everybody suffers. Everybody in the team suffers. So in terms of the creativity, that one is
up and down
per project. Not even, sometimes you start a project with so much creativity, the client changes everything, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God.
You're a bit
where do we
shaken.
begin? Where do we begin? We're a bit shaken because they don't see it the way you do. Even there's a brief, no matter how much you have a lot of briefs, all these meetings, online meetings, in-person meetings. So sometimes you're quite apart in terms of the vision that you see. So that can bring about the basically sometimes you feel lack of confidence because you're also feeling like you're not meeting the client's needs. You're like, I know I'm normally like that. So how do we do as a team in terms of bringing all of our employees to have the right space of mind, to be able to confident enough, because confidence is a lot.
That's very key as well.
So if you're not confident, you might have a very good idea, but when you're presenting our ideas as a team, you push the good idea and say you don't have it. We don't want that. So to answer your question, the creativity comes and goes, but we just want to make sure our environment is the one that helps us.
That continues to
the
foster.
Culture that we have in our team. So we really want people to be confident in themselves. Trust these talents that you have, because we picked you for a reason.
Yes. That's very true.
Yeah, so we encourage our team to really trust them. So when that happens, it's just a matter of just looking back and make sure that we are doing this as a team. Yeah.
And you mentioned something before earlier. You mentioned that you studied in KU. And then you went to the market. I'd say it like that. You went to the market and you found this huge skills mismatch, and you had to do what you had to do anyway to be able to permeate the gap and get to where Cchora Studios is right now. And in the face of that, I choose to believe you've taken the step to even push it more further and launch Cchora Academy. Now, tell us about Cchora Academy. What is the inspiration behind Cchora Academy? What is Cchora Academy hoping to do, hoping to achieve? Why, at this particular moment, Cchora Academy, and why not maybe 2-3 years ago?
To start from the beginning, I think the university to professional field mismatch, it's almost cliche. There's so much even beyond I want to say beyond what our knowledge is, but all we know is that there's such a big a number of youth that are leaving university and heading to the professional field, and they actually underqualified.
Yes.
So for us, me and one of my co-founders, we also did design, and when we went out, we were really mismatched. Really mismatched. So we had to basically take it upon ourselves to kind of improve our skills. So be it YouTube, be it these online courses, Coursera and such. Another one was Domestika, trying to basically close the gap. Close the gap. And once we felt comfortable that we believe that we've closed the gap, we can offer a service, basically Cchora as a service.
Great.
is when we went out. And obviously, to cut the long story short, after we've been out there, we've worked, we've gained a lot of confidence and worked with a lot of clients, big clients. We were getting a lot of feedback from some of our clients, some of our fans, that they needed the skills that we were presenting. So at first we didn't take it seriously because we were like, just go learn these things.
Yeah,
just go learn these
go
things.
to the same
YouTube
Coursera.
is free.
Yeah.
We are like, I'm using Illustrator. So why are you telling me you need to learn? Just go learn Illustrator. So now when we started interacting a lot, talking to students coming out of campus, talking to students coming out of high school, we realized what they were requiring from us. It's not just, I know how to do a software. These are not robots. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So how basically do they want to present their work? Go out and that skill specifically. So that's the thinking that came about. And coming through, we thought we needed to create an academy. So the team that we have at Cchora, we felt the best thing to do is create basically our own Coursera, in which we will teach. Basically, we are targeting a lot of students in Kenya. All the expertise we have, basically, teaching them how to close the gap, how to monetize as a designer, how to use your portfolio to be able to demand more, and how do you basically present yourself out there? Because we realize the skills people have, but basically crossing the line towards being able to be paid a good income for
offering the skill as a service, as you've mentioned,
being paid the right amount, the proper amount, being able to present yourself in the best way. So we realized those were the things that actually individuals were looking for, not just the
technical know-how.
The technical know-how. So that's how now, and basically even our courses as we're building on Cchora Academy, we are really touching about basically your professional journey as a designer. So that's what will set it apart in the e-learning space.
And I think that's first of all, congratulations on this wonderful leap that you're about to take. I think it's very different. It's unique. We might be quite attuned to the normal university education, the normal so forth traditional. But I think one thing that we always as well here at ACWIC speak about, brainstorm about, is it's so important for you to learn from people who are already there. It's important for you to learn from the experts on the job, people who have already succeeded and they know what it takes and what you need to do, integrate, so forth. So I think it's wonderful. It's really, really amazing, this new leap you're taking. And please, listeners, everybody out there, once it's up, interact with the courses, interact with what they're building. It might then just give you, because I'm choosing to assume that it's not just for people who have always been creatives, even if this is a chance for you to walk into the space as well.
We want you to walk into the space.
There you go.
Yeah, because the more the designers we have, the better the competition.
Better it is. Yeah, that's
because
wonderful.
it's quite easy to get into your comfort zone. You might just sit there. I'm a good designer, blah blah blah. I don't need to grow. You know what happens. Yeah.
And if I could still ping on the projects, the wonderful portfolio that you have. You've worked with ACWIC as well before. Cchora Studios have been very instrumental with the organization as well. You've been able to work with big leagues, TikTok, so forth. What do you think, just off the top of your head, is the most impactful project that you've been able to work on, maybe throughout the lifeline of Cchora? That's a good question.
That's a good question, yeah. That's a good question.
Considering the portfolio.
I might have a different answer. My team might have a different answer.
Oh, that's very true. That's
because
true.
But the one for me that was most impactful, I think, was our work with TikTok. TikTok was trying to introduce basically a monetization policy to creators in Kenya. So teaching them how to adopt TikTok and how to monetize from TikTok. So they had an incubator program, and basically they trusted us to bring forth that incubator program.
Oh, wonderful.
So for me personally, at the point that TikTok found us and the faith that they showed in us, just a small team. For me, that was the most impactful thing because we basically worked with creators from Nigeria.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
And Kenya. So the incubator program was in Nigeria and Kenya. They had done one in South Africa.
Oh.
So they had worked with some agency in South Africa. So when they came towards doing for Nigeria and Kenya, the fact that we even made the list, for me, that was like, oh my God. So for me, the work we did with TikTok, that stands out for me. Yes.
Well, we would love to hear from the rest of the team at some point.
At some point, yeah.
Maybe the whole way make it different.
There's so many. I don't know. TikTok is number one. We did another project for a company called Tiny Totos.
Tiny Totos?
It's an NGO. They do daycare. Basically, they digitize daycare. They have an app for daycare management.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Daycare financing for the daycare managers, and also a parents app in which they can track their children through the daycare. So that has been quite impactful. So the project also was it's been launched in Ethiopia. They've done Tanzania just I think maybe 2 weeks back. Yeah. So that again also carries a lot. It carries a lot.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So it's a pick of the bunch. Yeah. Yes. So those two
really
in the back of my mind. Yeah, that's a standoff.
I think we are past speaking about Cchora Studio just in Nairobi. I'm hearing projects in Ethiopia and Nigeria. I think we're way past that.
Our goal is to grow beyond. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful as well. And so we've talked about the journey. We've talked about Cchora Studios as it stands as a design agency. We've touched on the next steps with Cchora Academy. But tell us about Cchora Shop. I think it's something that we've been able to see within your platforms. What is Cchora Shop? What is the vision around Cchora Shop, and how do we interact with it as consumers per se?
So Cchora Shop basically, so this is Cchora 2.0, just for the viewers' information.
This is clearly before everybody.
The 1.0 failed, which we are happy about. Yeah, we are quite happy about the failure.
You only failed to stand up again.
Yeah, we rushed into the market. We saw a gap, and we rushed, and we didn't really think about the overall picture. We just saw a gap and we rushed. But basically, as we relaunching, Cchora Shop, basically our goal is to create the biggest creative market in Africa. We want to rival the Shutterstocks of this world, the Free Picks of this world. I know designers know Free Pick.
They're really connecting with Wasping.
And we want to really combine everything, an all-in-one creative marketplace that will serve businesses, small, medium businesses, large-scale businesses, and also give creators a chance to earn money from basically their creations. So when we launched the first Cchora Shop, we just launched it as an e-commerce site.
Oh, okay.
We were just selling here,
your
there.
work, yeah.
It's just work. But when we realized we've really missed the target, we had to go back, re-strategize what Cchora Shop is. We're even looking at renaming the name. It might be Cchora Marketplace, but that's the goal. It's already in motion. These are things we're going to launch in the first quarter of the year.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
And we are quite happy about it because we've engaged a lot of designers, a lot of creators. We've engaged a lot of some of our clients, a majority of our clients. And we were like, you know what? You can experience us without necessarily talking to us.
Yeah.
Because we really want to put our soul in that marketplace, and we want to ensure that whoever is in that marketplace, be it a seller or a buyer, they're able to basically work out and come up with something that really resonates.
Yeah.
So basically, Cchora Shop, the goal is to launch the biggest creative market in Africa. So fingers crossed. But
amen.
Yes, in God's time.
In God's time. We've said the first quarter, but it's God's grace as well.
God's grace, yeah.
And we're looking at all these different strides that you're taking as one of the leading design agencies in the country. And you begin to wonder then, how is this space? How do you think the design industry in the country is evolving, and what role would you want Cchora Studios to play in that evolution?
The design industry in Kenya is quite. I truly say it. I truly believe what I say. The design industry in Kenya has to be the best in Africa.
Well,
That's
there
what
you
I
go.
believe. That's what I believe. Because what we've realized is that the openness, the creativity that we are seeing, the adoption of new technologies like AI, you guys using AI to produce some amazing work. So that has really grown in Kenya. And what that does, it really sparks a creative spark among young people, among anybody who has that, that thought, I think I can design, I think I can animate. I really like using this tool to do this, be it Canva or anything. You see what Kenyans are doing. You see the Kenyan creative space on how people are able to produce such amazing things. And we are really in a very good space. We are in a fantastic space. And what that does for us as Cchora Studio, basically, we are looking towards in terms of how are we going to ensure that we are number one? How are we going to ensure that Cchora is the design agency that is setting trends?
Yeah.
Cchora is the design agency. Basically, if I want to learn, I need to talk to these guys.
Exactly.
If I want my project needs a personal touch. My project needs just that little edge. Those are the things that now are coming to our mind. But we are really happy where the creative space is in Kenya because the competition is quite high. The competition is quite high. So if it's the nitty-gritties of how we are going to do it, that's we'll hide that a little bit.
Corporate information.
That's corporate information. We need an NDA or something. But the Kenyan creative space is something else. It's top notch.
And
as we speak, yeah.
And I think it's very true. I think as much as we continue to see the growth, I think even here at the organization, we felt the need to be able to not necessarily pivot completely, but dip our hands as well into the creative space, because we did feel that that's where the youth are. That's where we're trying to. That's our whole target audience. That's our whole MO, and how best to reach them, other than the way that they like to be reached, how they interact with the content, how they interact with different platforms. And so I really believe as well, I agree with you that the the creative agency right now in the country is at its top notch. I think we're seeing creators emerge almost each and every day, making something out of themselves, making something out of their content, which is amazing. And here we are with Cchora Studios wanting to lead and spearhead all these different trends with agencies, and that's really amazing. And Moses, that's really, really groundbreaking. And you want to think that you might not be the only one who's ever wanted to come up with a design agency. There might be a Kamau seated right now listening to this podcast wondering, you know what, I've always wanted to come up with a design agency myself. I've always wanted to, build something like that on my own. What do you think you can tell this Kamau, who's just at the onset of such a journey?
First, it's always good, you always romanticize like I'm the only one, and there's that romance you have with your company, because you're always thinking that, and you should, basically you should,
Yeah.
you're always thinking that you're the best. Wherever I go, I'm the best. Nobody's doing what I'm doing. So that's the first mindset you normally have. And when you go outside, you meet other agencies, and these guys are like even eons beyond you. And you now start, it's very easy to feel a little bit down, because you're like, how do I compete with these guys? How do I compete with these guys? How am I able to even go beyond these guys? So the one thing I can tell any designer or any individual thinking about coming to the creative space and also just starting their own thing, you need to have a very, very, very hard heart.
Okay.
In terms of in Kenya, just if you allow me to translate, unafaa kuwa na kichwa ngumu sana. And when we say that, it's because you will meet not only people who are above you, but you will also meet people who are so below you
as well,
but they're doing so much better than you. You see, that's an aspect that people don't think of. You might have an office, beautiful space, employees, and there's a freelancer sitting at home. And when you guys go to pitch something together, they get the job. So you are like,
How? You're confused.
in my office, how dare you? So those things are there. So the goal is very, you really need to believe in yourself. My advice would be, if there's something you're very good at, stick to that. I know you need to expand your skills, and you should. You definitely should, because you basically can't eat from the same plate. But you need to be known for something. If I'm seated here, I need to know that Kamau Design Studio is the place to go for web design. Now, Kamau might do some branding. Kamau might do some videography. But I know Kamau is good at this. So for anybody who's aspiring, if there's a specific field in which you're quite good at, you need to really, really work so that at least you stand out there. And once you set a background and a blueprint for it, you are able to basically now add on the few skills. You don't need necessarily to have those skills. You can employ somebody who's very good at videography, whatever it may be, so that you grow. You grow. So it might be daunting at first.
Yeah.
It's scary like everything else. Kenyans are not quite understanding in business. We love you, but sometimes, so you really need to believe yourself, for you to be able to even just demand what is owed to you.
Owed to you, yeah.
What is owed to you. Because sometimes you might work and somebody just looks at you, you might underquote and lose work.
Yeah.
You might overquote. You rather overquote and people come down to your value. But
rather than
you underquote and you lose the job. So that's just in terms of the mentality you need to have. But all in all, it's a good space to be. So Kamau, Njeri, you should have started yesterday.
Yeah, you already
should have started yesterday.
We already did.
Mm.
And I just want to go back to the journey that you've listed, that for Cchora Studios, how it came to be, the different pivots that you had to make, and the different skills that you had to learn to be able to continue to cement your position in the creative space. Really, how important is it? And I know you've touched on it a little bit earlier before, but now we want to talk to the Njeri right here. Njeri is in the space, but Njeri is not going to adopt ChatGPT. Njeri is not going to adopt maybe Gamma. Obviously, I'm not throwing the design softwares correctly, but you understand the route I'm taking. Njeri does not want to adopt these emerging technologies and leverage to make her work easier, her work more effective, her work, more presentable, or a brand as it is. And so how does Njeri happen to, stay updated or stay relevant in such a dynamic field? Do you think it's important for designers to jump on the AI trend, jump on the new emerging technologies trend, or get left behind and stick to what you already know and what you know is good?
First of all, Njeri is in some deep problem.
Yeah.
If he or she does not want to adopt these new technologies, basically, you
it's tough. It's not looking good.
You have some problem too. You have a real problem. And just to add on your point, I don't just think it's about the technologies in the creative space. Because as you grow as an agency, even as a freelancer, you need to now start looking at basically business management.
Okay.
Looking about accounting, talking about project management. So there are tools for this. So you can't go to accounting now and be doing the
calculator and the books
and everything. We have softwares for that. The softwares tailored to SMEs. So if you're not adopting technology, not only will your creative side be basically that's done, that's killed. Even managing the business as it is. Even you as a sole proprietor, you're a business. You need to file taxes. So if you're so stuck in your ways, even a small thing like e-teams you don't know how to use, and you need to file taxes. Managing your finances in business, how do you do that? So that's not necessarily taught in the creative side. Now, adopting the tools for now, being able for you to use to sharpen your skills. I know the Bible says that, wisdom helps you to sharpen your tool. You know? There's somebody basically cutting down a tree with a blunt
blunt tool.
tool. Wisdom helps you sharpen the tool. It saves you time. It saves you time. So you really need to adapt some of these things, or you'll be left behind. I know there's a lot of fear mongering on the internet.
Yeah.
AI will replace your job.
I think that's
It
the most
won't.
common one, yes.
AI won't replace your job. AI will replace the individual who does not use it as a tool.
Oh, there you go.
For your work. So in the next, whatever it may be, I'm not an AI expert, whatever it may be, you might see even in the field of law, you'll see Grace Nafula and ChatGPT law consulting services. Because that's
the pathway,
it's the tool that you need. So you really need a better tool to be able to be effective in doing whatever you want to do. So if you don't want to adopt it, that's one less competitor. So for us, we can't be telling you these things in this day and age. We consider it to be, it's a blessing to be born in such a transition in which the world is changing. The world is changing. We have these new technologies. We have an opportunity to get on it on the ground. The industrial age guys are left behind. So there's nothing new.
Nothing new,
Nothing new.
It's the same.
I know there's the meme on TikTok, surviving is winning, Franklin.
It's winning, Franklin.
So
really,
how do you survive?
You
need to adapt.
There you go.
There's no Njeriana.
There's no otherwise.
Yeah.
And I really think what's sticking to me anyway in that sense is AI is not going to replace your job. It's going to replace the person who's not using it, leveraging it to improve,
to achieve and improve.
Oh, that's something. Yeah. So that's really important. I think it's also a pathway within the organization that we're recently looking at. How can we be able to get the youth to understand that with AI you can be able to elevate, you can be able to use it to, increase efficiency, come up with new ideas. I saw somebody use ChatGPT to come up with a business idea and picked and almost got all the way to their $1 million worth of earnings. So clearly it's not an enemy, as you say. It's not an enemy. Yeah, it's a tool for us. Yeah. And that's really amazing that for you as well, for Cchora Studios and the larger team that's not here with us here today, you've already gotten to the bandwagon. There's no question about it.
Yeah,
you're already there. The boat is sinking, guys. It's already gone. It's really just gone. So Njeri, Design Agency X, don't get left behind. I think that example of the industrial ages is very, very key as well. This is the same cycle people go through.
That's the same thing.
The same cycle. Yeah. The world is going to change. We're going to evolve. Do not be left behind. And really, thank you so much, Moses. It is short, however, the information, the packages of knowledge that we have received here, I really think could take somebody from at least this step to the next one. I think that's all that matters. Take that first step, take that next step, and
find out later.
And find out later, right? Surviving is winning anyway.
Those are not things that should be concerning your mind. You need to be there for you to basically you need to be there. If you're not there,
then there's nothing really happening.
We can't imagine. No client sits there and imagines the best agency in the world, the best designer in Kenya. You have to be posting your work. You have to have a portfolio. You have to be seen. You have to be seen. You can't force people to imagine you
that you're just the best,
and they imagine you to be the best. Some of us are not imaginative, so we are practical.
Yeah, practical, yeah.
Some of us are strategical. So you need to really
that's very true as well.
Close the doors for them. So that when they look,
it's only you they can see.
It's only you they can see. It's only you they need. And the only way you do that is by basically stepping outside. And I don't think that's a problem in Kenya. Kenya people, I've never seen. Till now, I don't think I've met somebody who's shy.
Held back when they're trying to.
Unfortunately, where we are as a country, you really need to go
over and beyond,
overboard to ensure that you're able to even just put food on your table. So basically what ties us up, what differentiates us as we go out there, all of us, is basically the strategy we use in terms of being able to be bold and everything. I believe the Kenyan creative scene, people are quite bold, people are quite outgoing, but now the strategy is there, and that's where technology comes. That's where not wanting to adapt new things comes. So guys start separating good for bad.
Good for bad, yeah.
So basically that is.
Well, thank you so much, Moses. I really cannot quantify if I could try the amount of just the amount of knowledge that we've shared here, and I'm saying regardless of how short, there's somebody who's going to resonate with every single thing you've said, even just from the small aspect of resonating with a face finally behind Cchora Studio. I think those of us at the very least, you can go and check on the different platforms. You'd never see their faces. You'd never see Moses's face. You wouldn't see the co-founder and the team's face. You'd see the work. That's what you see the work. You see the work, but I think it's also nice.
We'll definitely make an effort for that. Yeah,
well,
we'll definitely
this is the first step. Here you go.
As these platforms are going, I think people need to interact and see the people
that human interaction.
I think that's something that we'll have a meeting.
We'll have a. It seems I've secured something for myself as well.
We'll discuss.
But I think it's very important. I think it's wonderful to be able to see. You can be liking something so much, you can be seeing something so much, and then you finally put, a face or a human interaction to it, and you feel like, this is just a Kenyan. This is just somebody like me. Somebody in KU right now say, this is an alumni. We're in the same class. So if he could do it, then definitely I can do it.
Even better.
I can learn.
We'll fight you.
Improve. Obviously.
We'll fight you, but you should do better. That's the goal. Yeah.
Hopefully next time we'll have, and not even hopefully, next time we'll have you together with the co-founder. That we'll have, snippets of the team, at least to see, just how they're able to handle all these different aspects, how you're able to, manage the team in and itself, because at the end of the day, you're also quite young as an individual. So to be able to manage, such a corporate force at the end of the day is also something that's, important for our young people to learn. Anybody who's trying to, move into entrepreneurship. It's not easy being a boss, I'd choose to assume.
Yeah?
It's not easy being a boss, not easy being able to move A, B, C, make decisions that affect the company brand, affect the future of the company. Must be very, very, tiring isn't a word, but let me say taxing, must be very, very taxing. But somehow, here we are 6 years later, one of the leading agencies, awards here and there, and so much more to look forward to. We have Cchora Academy to look forward to. We have Cchora Shop 2.0 to look forward to. We have so much. I know they're not even revealing all of them because trade secrets, hello.
We have, you have to hide a few things.
Here, there, and then pop out when it's...
You might lose interest in us. So
you might sell everything.
We might sell everything. Yeah.
But there's so much to look forward to. And I think that's what I'm most excited for, and excited for you as well, and the studio. Come 2025, I think we will pick up again at the end of the first quarter to be able to see, Cchora Academy, to be able to see Cchora Shop, and just to be able to see any progress that would have come into play, really, because all progress is good progress, guys. I choose to assume, yeah. So thank you very much, Moses. This has been a wonderful time, wonderful interview. Thank you for making the time. I'd like to thank the co-founder as well in absentia. I think she was very instrumental to the entire company as you worked through together. So thank you for her as well, even in absentia. Thank you for the team. I know that they're behind this entire interview, getting us together as well. So I think it was very, very instrumental, and really I'm just excited for you guys for the year. I really am.
Thank you so much, Grace. I'm really privileged to be here. It's quite exciting to do this. Actually, my first podcast.
You could not notice.
Yes, I was pushed by the team. You need to talk to people. You need to go out there. So basically, 2025, Cchora will be out there physically, and
we'll see some faces.
See some faces behind the projects. But at where I'm sitting right now, I'm very excited. I'm very happy and I feel very privileged to be able to be here to talk to Grace, to talk to the lead team, and also to engage. Because the thing is, we need to network, we need to learn
Always.
from each other. And I feel like I've learned a lot. So I'm quite happy for that
I've learned a lot
opportunity.
too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, Grace.
And
Thank you so much,
guys,
everyone.
As usual, you know the social media platforms, you know where we're at. Cchora is here, a very easy search, CCHORA.
Yeah.
They have a wonderful website. They have a wonderful presence on social media. Go to Pinterest, you'll find them. Go to TikTok, you'll find them. Interact with everything and their different projects as you continue to interact with the podcast, with lead series. Thank you very much again. We cannot extend thanks so much. Let's walk into the new year with all the excitement that Cchora has as well.
Yep.
Thank you very much, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.